Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, individual. Today, I would like to speak about the seed for the future. As I have spoken about earlier, to do actions and practice and find out what the future needs, as every human being's needs, and then try to cultivate it. You want to see that in the future. You want to see something that is good and loving, kind, caring, empathic, uplifting, and non-judgmental in the future. To have something that can stably, with stability, stand strong in any morals, ethics, and situation they might come to. This is not an easy path because it is seeds. So whatever you do now, whatever you cultivate here and now, strengthening it inside yourself is going to become seeds for the future. Of course, you will have to share of what you are finding out about. So when you find out something new, something that might have substance or depth or an understanding or maybe an inspiration to another human being, you share it. That is also not an easy thing to do. It is more nerve-wracking than anything, but it is necessary. We should do this. We don't need to do this because we have freedom, but we should do it because, well, we want to see the future in a better state than we are in now, or at least have the opportunity and the groups, maybe the people, to actually uphold a certain standard of being, standard of living, standard of behaving around others through love. It has to be loving, kind, caring, because when you revere this, when you have reverence for it, it becomes serious, it becomes sincere. You really want to see this change in this world. And to be the change, to grab a hold of your own life, of your own interests, of your own individuality, to cultivate what you have chosen to cultivate. If we actually contemplate a little and think about a few spiritual things, we will quickly come to a conclusion of what humans should and should not do. The small details in abstract law does not matter. What matters is the heart. What matters is what truly is right. And that also is not easy to find, and especially if you do not follow any specific principles. If you have no principles, there is no living like it, obviously. What you believe in reflects out in your living. But if you have faith, love, hope for the future and for the now and for everyone, you will have a certain steadiness, stability to do this every day, so that you can show others that it is okay, that you can do this too, that it is possible to become a stronger, sturdier, steadily, harmonious, loving, caring human being. A human being that actually sees, not only with their intellect and rationality alone, but also feel and also observe are willing. To be able to actually see the bigger picture in things, what we experience from day to day, how it affects you and how you grow as a character. What have you gained? What have you learned from all of these lessons? Because they are lessons. Karma is more or less lessons. If you go through karma and you are very turbulent and you go through it, the next time you go through, it will be a test later. Something that might look like the same problem. but you handle it differently because you grew as a human being the last time. And then you will never experience that again. And that is what I mean about having trust and faith. Faith, love, hope. And knowing that what comes to you is for the better good. Always. There is no exceptions there unless you chooses it to be an exception. So the best thing is to uphold love. True, objective, loving, caring, human love. It is a very, very different kind of love than for your family or for your closest friends you have known for your whole life, or for your country or your culture or your religion. This is a high form of love that sees everything and everyone as they are and take them as who they are, and you still uphold your standards no matter what they do. This is also not easy because everyone wants to fight, Everyone wants to have a fight with you. And I don't care. They can fight whoever they like in their head. But I am not going to bite into it. I am going to keep going with what I'm doing. Maybe in 100 years it might be valuable in some kind. That is what I am standing for. I sacrifice this so that the future might become better. It is not an easy path to go either, because you don't necessarily, other than what you practice and cultivate here and now, you gain faculties for perception, consciousness, and love. These are results of what you are gaining today, but it is inner understanding faculty. It's not something physical, material, tangible. That is the difference. And that is why these kinds of work is frowned upon, because it doesn't show any physical change. But it does. Every single human being you are meeting when you are studying this is changed. And you change them, they change you. We're always in constant movement. And this movement is beautiful, especially when you get to know it truly. There are so much turbulence. Every single thing wants you to more or less go into a panic state almost. And in this world where so many things wants your attention, it is important to train your focus, train your consciousness, so that you are in the moment and wants it to behave like you should want it to behave. To be aware of what we think, how we think, and in inclusion to that, our emotions are also affected by our thoughts, and our thoughts are affected by our emotions, and our will impulses also. They are meshing inside each other. But to become aware conceptually about these inner worlds, you can get to know every one of them individually, so that you can see them as what they are, so that you can monitor it, observe it, learn from it. Then you find out who you are as a human being. Your inner life is as important as anything anyone is wanting you to do. Your inner health is what allows you to give to the world what is needed for the world, and everyone has something valuable to give. Everyone. Which is important to know that everyone has, so that we do not condemn them immediately, or condemn them at all. It is a steady work. It is an everyday task, and everyone's responsibility, more or less, to find out what they stand for, what they work with, what for themselves they really want to see in this world. And that reflects their belief in themselves and belief in the world. If the world is only dark with despair, pain, and evil people, then that is how you will live, with looking over your shoulder constantly, with paranoia and nihilism. It's not a funny way to live. But if you do have reverence, faith, and inclusion to faith. You actually have knowledge to back it up. You have knowledge that is comprehensive to your whole upbuilding of world picture. Then you truly have a steady anchor. And no matter what people disagrees with you on, you know where you stand because you live it. This is living. You live it every day, almost all day. Because there is no way to retreat. The only thing we can do is distract ourselves for a moment. And then we come back to ourselves again and everything is back. Think about that. So nothing, you can never run away from anything. You have it inside yourself always. That is why it is best to find out what is there so that you can comprehend it and understand it and heal it if you must. Healing is important. Healing for everyone is important. I think this was everything. Thanks. May the divine guide us all and Christ guide us on this beautiful path to evolution, love, and finding where you are meant to go and be. Love you all. Thank you. Goodbye.